Vanderwoodson?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So how have things been since last time we met?
There's probably been a slight improvement. I stayed home 3 times last week, but he is still complaining, and we are still arguing. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, some improvements. You know, better than none.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, I need to go over my rights and responsibilities.
Okay.
Together, we're going to work. I'm going to do my hardest to, you know, make things better and get you back on the right track. Also, I do need to cover the confidentiality parameters.
Mm-hmm.
And everything we talk about in here is confidential. It stays between us. However, if you say something that makes me think you're a threat to yourself or to someone else, I am going to have to report that. Also, if there's any sort of abuse or anything that you mention, I am going to have to report that as well. You understand that?
Yes.
Is that okay?
I
All right.
completely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so tell me about your week. What's been going on? You said you hadn't been you stayed home a few times.
I did. I stayed home a couple nights this week. Well, I stayed home every night. I got in at like 1 a.m.
That's better. That's a lot
I
better.
know, right? I didn't
Yeah.
stay at Rhonda's house, but
That's wonderful.
So I feel like I've made some improvements. I'm taking your advice, and I'm considering, being more considerate about him and his wants and whatever. So
That's great.
maybe we're making some improvement.
That's wonderful. That's definitely something to take pride in is doing that. So work's been going good?
Yeah, I mean it doesn't tend to affect my work. I guess that's why I get really irritated because I'm not doing anything differently.
Mm-hmm.
I have this big project at work and I got it completed, but it was extremely stressful. So of course I wanted to go out more, but I got it done. It's finalized and it's been sent off to head office in New York. So we'll know back next week.
That's great.
I feel like it was fun.
That's great. So that's so you're going out and stuff. That's kind of sort of how you've been coping with stress, like from work. And
yeah, I mean, I'll admit that. Like I do that. I tend to drink a lot when I have like stress going on, or I'm worried about something, or if I feel like I'm not good enough or something. Like if I can't do it, then I resort to drinking.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be worse. It could be drugs. I mean,
right.
you see them every day.
I understand. So our relationship is strictly professional. You do understand that. I should have went over that.
I wouldn't invite you to the bar. I know.
I should have went over that earlier. It just kind of hit me that I am gonna have to mention that. So since last time we met, I have come up with I've looked into several counseling things like we've talked about. Did you have any sort of preferences?
I would like something that is maybe like a religious meeting group, something that's pretty faith-based.
Okay.
We practice Catholicism, so I would like to maybe attend something like that if they're...
Definitely. I do have several, or a few to mention. The St. Andrew's Catholic Church downtown.
Mm-hmm.
They do have some marriage and family therapists there that they kind of, it's sort of like a volunteer thing. They're a licensed marriage family therapist, and they do come. I believe it's on Tuesdays, but I do have the number for you to call and verify. And I mean, they're licensed. They just kind of volunteer there to sort of help, and it's it'd be a couples therapy.
Okay,
thing.
good. I do definitely want him to come too.
Okay, yeah, and also there's the Catholic Charities has one as well, and I have the number for that too. So if that could be something you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we really didn't talk about your family much. Is there do you have any sort of family connections that maybe help when you're coping, or?
I don't know. There's always Susan, but she is extremely judgmental. And
Susan's your mother?
Yeah, Susan's my mom. So she's always been judgmental, even growing up. You know, A's weren't even good enough. You think you'd have to make something better than an A. But so nothing good enough for her. So I really don't turn to her, talk to anybody about these issues. I guess that's maybe why I drink like I do, and I go out like I do. But because I don't really talk to anybody about it. And Ryan, he's just annoying. So he's not a very good listener.
All right. Well, so your groups, like, do you have any sort of like friends from work? I know you talked about the stress. Does anybody else you work with sort of have any sort of stress like they would have to manage that you could maybe confide in and talk with about it?
Oh, we confide all the time. We confide and we go out together. Me,
Okay.
Dee's, and Liz, we have a blast. Like,
Okay.
girls' night, 2 for 1. Oh, yes.
Okay, so is that
We do really well with that.
All
But they
right.
also don't have nagging husbands and I guess other responsibilities, but I feel like I'm managing. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so do you think drinking is your problem, or do you think it's more something else? Do you think that's why y'all kind of fuss? He considers your drinking a problem? Do you consider your drinking a problem?
If I said no, I'd probably be lying, but I know it's not ideal for me to drink the way I do and to be a wife and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like that it may like be my outlet, like you had mentioned before. It may be my outlet to cover up like underlying issues and how I deal with my problems. So I guess I would need to find a healthier way to go about that, which I have no idea how I would do that. So it's kind of why I'm here.
Like I said, I'm not an expert in the situation at all. That is totally you. You know what's best for you, and you have the right to make your own decisions. So if any of these counseling things just aren't your thing, I'm not forcing you to go. It's just
No, I like it
suggestions.
because I feel like you're gonna help me like maybe lay out a path to the road I need to walk down. So
Right.
that's kind of how I
Okay.
feel like you're the bridge between two roads, maybe. So you help out.
Well, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Where do you kind of see yourself? Like, what's your ultimate objective within our meetings? Like, what do you hope to gain from the meetings?
I don't know. I like being able to talk to someone and confide in someone and not know that they're like judging me 24/7 or, you know, so I don't know. I like to gain that. I like to be able to talk to someone. Maybe learn how to communicate more effectively with Ryan, my husband. And just kind of like I said, start out like that plan. Like if I'm going to make change, which I do not do well with change. And so if I'm going to make any change, kind of like, I don't know, start it here and see where it goes.
Yeah. So you do understand a change needs to be made. So you are.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, there's
Okay.
some change that needs to be made. And like I said, like from last week, I went out every night last week. And I stayed at home like twice. And then this week, I only went out 3 times. But I was home every single night.
Okay. That's a huge improvement. That
I feel
really
like it is for me. So
Congratulations. That's wonderful. What do you think you can do within the next week to sort of kind of reach that objective that you're trying to get?
I don't know. I don't want to just say, hey, I'm going to just stay home tonight to make Ryan happy because that's not going to make me happy. And so I feel like, I don't know, there should be some kind of compromise. Like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I could always come home earlier instead of just like going out after work, not staying out all night, like go have dinner and come home, maybe.
Okay.
That, do you think that would be okay?
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever considered maybe including him?
See, I didn't even ask that. That's a good question. I thought about it. Not hard, but he's a Debbie Downer, you know. He's just not, he doesn't have fun like me and the girls do, but I could definitely ask. That's a good suggestion. Thank you for
Okay,
that.
no problem at all. So definitely so by next week, what do you want to come to me and say has happened?
I haven't ripped Ryan's head off this week. No, yeah, that. Plus, like, I don't know, that he's not, like, we're not screaming and fighting at each other every night. And that maybe I've cut back on my going out.
Okay.
Like you suggest.
Okay. Maybe kind of reduce it down to, okay, that's a great idea. Great idea. So, last week we had talked about talking with Ryan. I don't know, how did that work? Did that work out, or?
I don't know, it starts out talking and then it just goes into screaming because he doesn't understand where I'm coming from and I don't know where he's coming from. And so, like, it's a constant, it's just I don't know if it's necessarily lack of communication. It's like more so we don't understand each other and our prides are both huge sometimes. It's very large sometimes. And so we just clash and we don't communicate effectively. We communicate, don't get me wrong, trust me, the neighbors know, but we do not communicate effectively. So I feel like we should work on that. Maybe those AA meetings you mentioned will help with that.
Okay. So do you think maybe, so you do want to try those counseling sessions?
Yes,
So
definitely.
you think maybe by next week you could have an appointment set up? Would that be something that you'd be interested
Oh, yeah,
a goal
definitely.
to get through
Yeah, I
next
definitely
week?
want to get that information from you tonight, and then I can put a call in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I have the card right, or I have a sheet right here, with all the names on it. So this time next week, does that work for you? Or okay?
So do you want me to come back here and as well go to this meeting, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that could be.
I would like that. I would like to stay.
This could kind of be just
Yeah,
you
because
and I.
I've kind of gotten more comfortable, and I don't want to. I don't know. It's kind of weird when you have to start doing stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah, I understand. So, is there anything else you'd like to talk about with me today, or?
I think that's it for this week.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good day.
You
Thank
too.
you.